Hello everyone, you're about to hear a brief synopsis of the film The Fight. Enjoy! Jake recovers from a knockdown during a boxing match. His father advises him to simply survive until the end of the round. But the stubborn young man went on the attack and, after a lengthy gunfight, knocked his opponent out. He'd dreamed of serving in the Navy since childhood, but something didn't work out, and now Jake works as a welder at a shipyard. He's not very good at it. His dad demands he redo the work. After his shift, Lieutenant Burton from the Naval Academy was waiting for Jake. The young man had been rejected many times, but now several openings had opened. Some cadets had chosen the college, so they were willing to accept even a mediocre guy like Jake. That evening, a friend tried to talk him out of it, but Jake never wanted to build ships. He dreamed of serving. During a drinking session at a bar, AJ pointed out to Jake a girl who worked as an escort. The whole gang chipped in for a parting gift. Jake approached Ellie and told her he wouldn't be using her services, but she could keep the money. Only by her reaction did he realize his friends were playing a joke on him. Jake caught up with her and told her he was enrolling in the Naval Academy the next day and wanted to take her for a walk. But then he saw AJ getting into a fight, and while he was calming him down, the stranger disappeared. His father also doubted Jake had made the right choice. He doesn't listen to anyone. How will he follow orders then? The next time they'll meet is Christmas. Jake was allowed to keep only his toothbrush. Out of 20,000 applicants, only 1,200 were selected. The recruits, rifles over their heads, ran on the spot. Jake met Ellie again in this state. It turned out she was an instructor at the academy. Another instructor, Whitaker, told the Puerto Rican Estrada that he stank. Company Commander Lieutenant Cole glanced at the recruits and ordered one girl to break ranks and lie in a body bag. Another cadet zipped him up. This is what the mistakes rookies make in war will look like. Unlike yesterday's schoolchildren, Cole had served 3 years in the Marine Corps. He invited the recruits to complete an obstacle course. Everyone completed it successfully, except for the chubby one, who got stuck on one of the stages and couldn't get through it. But Marcus didn't have the strength and jumped to the ground. Instructor Whitaker, spitting saliva, told the cadet that from now on he would call him Twin because he weighed twice as much. If he didn't complete the course by the end of the year, he would be expelled. That evening, Marcus couldn't take off his socks. He had to cut them with scissors. The excellent club threw Jack a ruler. The lapel on the bed must be exactly 12 centimeters. Besides physical training, a lot of time is spent on theory. Jack isn't very strong here. He's much better with a punching bag, although Ellie teases him, saying he fights like a girl. Whitaker found a pastry in Marcus's house and is wiping his uniform. The entire floor is strewn with candy bars given to the fat guy by his family. Jack glares at him. For this, new guy was ordered to clean up after his neighbor. Marcus is from a small town. They threw him a huge send-off because his admission to the academy is a big deal for the locals. Lou even gives Jack advice on how to clean the toilet more effectively. They're all connected here, they say, and must work as a single mechanism. During lunch, the upperclassmen ask the new recruits theory questions. Whitaker offered Jack the chance to bet his comrades' lunches, since he was confident in his answer. And Cole offered their lives. Jack ultimately made a mistake, and the cadets in his unit were left without lunch. He should have said he didn't know the answer, not tried to guess. In a combat situation, such behavior could cost a soldier's life. Whitaker is pleased. Estrada no longer stinks. Lou is displeased that Estrada lied. He didn't shower yesterday and must admit it. When Call entered the room, the cadet was about to rat on his roommate. Estrada snapped and was ordered to leave the room. One of the classes involves learning how to patch up holes. Cadet Riza burst into tears, earning a scolding from Ellie. Jack stood up for her, and Cole didn't like that at all. He whispered to Jack that if they had a problem he could try hitting the lieutenant. Jack soon saw what Cole was capable of in the ring. No other freshman volunteered. Even Lou refused, despite having earned a state Golden Glove. He decided to keep his secrets for the boxing tournament next semester. Jack came to get even with Cole, despite their different weight classes. Within seconds, Jack was down. Getting up, he went on the attack, but a powerful hook knocked him down again. Jack went into deep defense, but it was no use. After losing, Jack sneakily attacked Cole as he was leaving the ring. Estrada was expelled for lying. At Christmas, Marcus decided to stay at the academy, afraid that people back home might not want to come back. Jack immediately went to the shipyard to see his friends. They all went to a bar. There, he told them that one cadet had been kicked out for taking a shower and 2 more for getting involved with girls. Jack confided to his father that he was considering quitting the academy and returning to his old job. His dad promised to arrange everything. After his shift, the boy saw a piece of paper with dates. It turns out that AJ had been taking bets all this time on when his friend would leave the academy and return. But Jack was upset with his father for giving him his job back so easily and not trying to dissuade him. Apparently, the man was afraid his son would be a better sailor than him. Unlike Jake, however, his dad hadn't given up. Ellie sat down next to him at the bar. She wondered if the freshman would return to the academy. But for now, some girl had invited him to the dance floor. Ellie decided to take the rookie away from her and flirt with him a little more. After the holidays, she reported to Lieutenant Burton, who hadn't returned to the academy. Jake was among them. But then the guy finally showed up, dressed in civilian clothes, standing next to his classmates. Cole called him in for a chat. The lieutenant tries to understand why Jake needs all this. He won't let someone who isn't worthy of this academy finish the year. In the middle of the night, the instructors woke the freshmen and made them hold buckets at arm's length until Jake answered questions correctly. Lou dropped the bucket and will now march alongside Jake. A team is only as strong as its weakest officer, says Cole. Marcus, however, is somewhat pleased that the seniors are turning on Jake. The boxing tournament is in just 8 weeks. It's the academy's main event. In the boxing ring, everyone is equal, regardless of rank or position. So this is the best time for the cadets to prove their worth. That evening, Lieutenant Burton decided to test Jake's chances of winning. After all, many of the participants are nationally renowned amateurs. You can't beat a rookie by simply kicking a punching bag. He needs a coach. And Jake decided to turn to Ellie for help training him. Meanwhile, the chubby boy is trying to overcome an insurmountable obstacle. Lieutenant Burton is also actively assisting Jake in preparing for the tournament. The freshman is gorging himself on butter to gain weight and get into Cole's weight class. Marcus is ready to help him with this and has emptied his stash of sweets. Jake has never worked so hard as he has during these 8 weeks. He also took Marcus under his wing to improve his physical condition. Jake once confessed to Ellie that the only person who ever believed in him was his late mother. Jake showed up for the weigh-in, stuffing himself with a chocolate bar. He plans to sign up for the heavyweight division. The coach reluctantly let him onto the scale. At the last minute, the cadet popped a chocolate bar sandwich into his mouth. This is how he managed to reach the required weight. The preliminary round of the tournament began. Instructors Whitaker and Cole dispatched their opponents without any problems. Jake will have his first fight behind Lou's nightclub. The Asian man advanced aggressively, then relaxed, opened up, and started making faces. He shouldn't have taken Jake seriously, which resulted in him being knocked out with a single punch to the head. No one expected such an outcome, but Cole realized the rookie had learned a thing or two. The cadets are forced to do push-ups in the pouring rain while simultaneously answering theory questions. Jake brushed up on his knowledge, but because of his outspoken nature, he was left alone on the parade ground for additional exercises. His classmates supported him and joined him. During training, Ellie decided to show him how to punch properly. And of course, she suddenly found herself on top of a cadet. She almost kissed him, but decided to leave things as they were. The next person Jake knocked out was Instructor Whitaker. He hopes that Cole will avenge him. The sailors came up to inspect the ship built for them. Jake approached his father, the engineer, and invited him to the tournament finals. It was time to take the obstacle course test. Those who fail to complete it in 5 minutes will be expelled from the academy. There will be no second chances. Marcus's comrades support him. With difficulty, he finally managed to climb over the most difficult obstacle, and with a smile on his lips, he dove into the arms of his classmates. However, it was too early to rejoice. His time was 5:04. He had missed the deadline. Jake asked Cole to give the boy a second chance, but Cole was adamant. Marcus is disappointed in himself. He let everyone down. They even presented him with the key to the city. I wonder if he'll have to return it now. Marcus asked to be left alone. Lou also began helping Jake prepare for the finals. A crowd had gathered near their building. Marcus lay on the pavement, barely breathing. Enraged, Jake attacked Cole, blaming him for what had happened. Marcus survived, but hasn't yet regained consciousness. Jake is packing to go home. After all, he hit a superior. They won't keep him at the academy after that. But Cole has already arranged for this matter to be reviewed after the tournament finals. The cadet must take his chance. Finally, Marcus came to and was the first to ask what time the fight would be. The young man urged his friend not to miss his chance and show the lieutenant his worth. Getting ready, Jake walked out into the arena to applause. Hearing the bell, the boxers began their reconnaissance. The coach admitted that Jake was his best rookie in the last 10 years. But Cole, physically stronger than the cadet, brought him to one knee with a powerful punch to the body. At the count of 7, Jake stood up and immediately closed the distance. However, the lieutenant quickly regained the initiative. He cornered the freshman, and only the bell saved him. 2 more rounds remained. Cole constantly pinned Jake to the ropes. Jake became more cautious, but at a certain point he went forward and put all his strength into a single attack. However, as soon as Cole saw an opening, he knocked his opponent down with a powerful cross. The blow seriously shook Jake, but he rose, and the bell allowed him to recover. У него есть еще всего один шанс, чтобы показать, чего он стоит. Коул решил добить первокурсника, но Джейк не намерен сдаваться. Он прижал оппонента к канатам и отправил его в нокдаун. But the champion rose and exchanged fire with the cadet again. Jake tried to finish Cole off. He had another 10 seconds to do so, but the lieutenant held his ground and the fight was over. The commanding officers applauded the fighters. Despite a great final round, Cole was awarded the victory on points. Jake was supported by the cadets, his friends from the shipyard, and his father, who was very proud of his son. Thanks to Cole's testimony, the disciplinary board decided to keep Jake in the squad. This allowed the cadet to complete his first year. Ellie congratulated him with a kiss. Jake himself thanked Cole for the report that had saved him. He wondered what would have happened if the fight had gone on for another round. "You want to know?" Cole asked. "Then join the Marines with me.